A service that we use every day and without which we cannot imagine our lives. A company that was sold for $1.65 billion just a year and a half after its launch, and now brings its owners roughly the same profit every month. So how did YouTube manage to achieve such success so quickly? When and how did the internet service, which gathers more than 2 billion users per month at its screens, originate? YouTube was created in February 2005 by three friends: Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Javed Karim. Chad Hurley was born in 1977 in the United States, Pennsylvania. He was the third child in his family and had a passion for computers, the internet, and everything related to it since childhood. While still in high school, he joined the Technology Student Association, and after graduating in 1995, he went to the University of Fine Arts. Such seemingly diverse interests combined in one, his real hobby horse was web design and the development of interfaces for all kinds of services. It was this passion that played a key role in Hurley's future career. After leaving university, Hurley was hired at PayPal. At the time, the payment system had just been launched. Chen Shijun, later known as Steve Shi-Chen, was born on August 18, 1978, in Taipei, Taiwan. But while still in high school, his family moved to the United States. After changing schools, he got his diploma from a specialized math school in Illinois and went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Studying computers, he received his bachelor's degree in 2002. Soon after college, Steve was also offered a position at PayPal. Javed Karim was born on October 28, 1979, in Merseburg, Germany. His father is a native of Bangladesh and his mother is a German who works as a researcher at the University of Minnesota. In 1992, his family moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. There he graduated from high school. Then, like Steve, he went to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. As a graduate student, he also studied at the National Center for Supercomputing Applications. He did an internship in Mountain View, California with Silicon Graphics Incorporated. In 2000, without graduating from university, Karim joined and started working at PayPal. As you may have gathered, it was here at PayPal, in the position of chief designer, Chad Hurley became friends with his future partners, Steve Chen and Javed Karim. The guys quickly became friends and found common interests, but they didn't start working together until a couple of years later. According to one version, the author of the project was Karim, who was inspired to create the service by his own unsuccessful attempts to find videos of Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake on the internet, as well as videos of the tsunami in the Indian Ocean. According to another version, the idea for YouTube came about when Hurley, Chen, and Karim wanted to share photos and videos taken during a party, and it turned out that there was no convenient service on the internet to post videos. But they couldn't send them by mail, because the videos were too long and couldn't be viewed in real time, because they had to wait for a long time before they were uploaded, and there was no guarantee that they would be 100% viewable. The reasons were different: unstable connection, difficulties with encodings, and so on. After that, it was decided to create a site where users could easily upload videos and share them with others. Whatever it is, but video hosting was launched on February 14, 2005. This date is quite symbolic because video hosting was originally conceived as a project for dating. People were supposed to get acquainted via videos. But users, instead of posting videos about themselves to get acquainted, began to record video content, mostly about what was going on around them, and share videos. So they decided not to limit the topic of the project to dating. The YouTube name was born from a pun. In English, BoobTube is a slang name for television. Flash video was used as the underlying platform, which made it easy to upload and play short videos in fairly decent quality in most internet browsers at the time. When YouTube launched, all the equipment for the site was in Chad Hurley's garage. It wasn't until a year later that the guys were able to move into an office space of only 20 square meters, located above a pizzeria in San Mateo, California. Javed Karim and Steve Chen programmed and lay out the future site. They built the service algorithm from the ground up and fixed most of the bugs that appeared in the first months of work. Chad Hurley, in turn, was in charge of the design of the project. He is credited with creating YouTube's logo, its design, and its interface. The very first video, a 19-second clip of amateur footage of Javed Karim at the San Diego Zoo, was posted on YouTube at 8:27 p.m. local time on April 23, 2005. YouTube's wide release marked the beginning of its development. The site quickly began to gain popularity. Within a year, its audience reached 100 million users and the number of uploaded videos was 65,000. The first major investor in YouTube was the company Sequoia Capital. Back from November 2005 until April 2006, it invested $11.5 million in the project. According to some reports, another $25 million investment service was able to attract in April 2006. In March of that year the site began displaying contextual advertising, but, according to experts, during the first years of the service did not bring its owners almost any income. One of the main reasons for that was the high cost of technical support for YouTube. Internet traffic alone costed $1 million a month, according to data as of April 2006. But the growing popularity of YouTube demonstrated that this startup was very successful in filling a niche that was empty at the time. Luck was, above all, that the creators of the service staked on the formation of their social network. A kind of community of video lovers, where anyone could share a video clip and view any of the published ones, tracking the needs of the audience with the constant improvement of the service. Speaking about the fundamental difference between their video hosting service and services like iTunes, Chen stressed that they have not just created a resource for posting videos, but also serve the interests of their users. For example, in addition to posting videos, you can discuss them, ask questions, and find out information about the content of a particular video. Over time, it became possible to track a particular user's stream, upload videos through special built-in services in the browser of a computer, tablet, or phone, and much more. As a result, YouTube became a video diary, and links to videos from ordinary users flooded the entire internet. Being quite convenient at the same time, video hosting soon began to be used not only for amateur videos but also to perform other functions. For example, it allowed sharing of footage from concerts, rare footage from different remote places, or cultural events. The time came when official videos began to appear on YouTube, song clips of world celebrities, commercials, movie trailers, and more. Finally, YouTube videos posted by eyewitnesses to various incidents began to be used as illustrations for news stories, and the heroes and creators of the most sensational videos, amassing millions of views, instantly gained international fame. As the audience grew, large companies began to take interest in the project, which saw a great future for the service. So, about a year and a half after the launch, in November 2006, Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion. An incredible success in such a short time. It's worth noting that Google originally launched its own video hosting service, called Google Video, and things were going well, as the developers themselves thought. But it wasn't that long until YouTube came along in 2005 and so quickly began to make staggering strides. Over the next few years, Steve Chen and Javed Karim left their positions and today have nothing to do with the service. Chad Hurley continued as CEO and left the company last, in October 2010, however, promised to make recommendations for the further development of the resource, if demanded. Since its acquisition, Google has been improving the service and in 2007 introduced a unique program that allows users to monetize their video content. That's when the era of YouTube bloggers began. Since January 2009, YouTube has provided the ability to download some videos directly from the site. It's possible to save without the help of third-party applications. Also in 2009, full HD support was added. In July 2010, Google announced support for IMAX, and YouTube developers announced that they were releasing a range of 4K videos. On December 2, 2011, YouTube launched a new version of its site interface, with videos from channels displayed in a central column on the home page, similar to the news feeds on social networking sites. At the same time, a new version of the YouTube logo was introduced in a darker shade of red, the first design change since October 2006. In February 2013, the channels were redesigned. The year 2015 was eventful. At the beginning of the year, YouTube switched to HTML5 player, replacing the standard Flash. On February 23, it launched an application for children called YouTube Kids. And in March, Google announced a new feature, panoramic videos. In these videos, filmed with a special camera, the viewer has the ability to see the environment at 360 degrees, changing the direction of the view. Support for 8K video game resolution was added in June, and in July there was an update that allowed videos shot vertically to automatically flip 90 degrees in full screen mode and take up the entire screen. On October 28, YouTube launched a paid subscription service called YouTube Red. Paid service allowed users to turn off the display of pre-rolls and ads. Video saving and playback features became available in the absence of an internet connection. In addition, with the purchase of a subscription appeared access to content that is not available to regular users. YouTube later rebranded the service, which is now known as YouTube Premium. In 2017, YouTube announced the launch of its own YouTube TV platform. The service is online and users do not have to purchase a subscription to satellite or cable television. In August of that year, YouTube redesigned its website and apps and, for the first time since 2005, changed its logo. The new design is made according to the material design concept invented at Google. In addition, the mobile version of the app now adapts vertical and square videos to the size of the screen, and the desktop version also has the option to choose a dark design theme. In June 2018, YouTube allowed channel owners to introduce paid subscriptions. In addition to directly increasing revenue for video bloggers, channel creators were able to separate content into public and pay per subscription-only content, offer users of paid subscriptions extended collections of emoji, and other such bonuses. In 2019, Google revealed the advertising revenue of the video hosting site YouTube for the first time in 14 years. For example, the video service brought in $4.72 billion for the quarter and $15.15 billion for the year, a 36% increase over 2018. In March 2021, word began to spread that YouTube would hide the dislike counter beneath videos. In the fall of that year, the update went into effect. The update, which brought with it the hiding of the dislike counter under videos, led to a lot of public discussion and criticism. The official video announcing the change was massively teased by users. Various criticisms from users followed, some of whom called the decision impractical, and some of whom claimed that it had political overtones and was an implicit form of censorship. In November of that year, an enthusiastic programmer published a special plugin that allows users to see the number of disliked videos again. In October 2022, YouTube began testing a new feature in which videos in 4K resolution will only be available to YouTube Premium subscribers. It's also impossible not to mention that Diane Wojcicki has been running the company since 2014. In September 1998, she leased to Sergey Brin and Larry Page a garage in which they, in turn, developed the technology for their Google search engine. Susan Wojcicki later resigned from her stable position at Intel, by then already well promoted, for a dubious project developed by two students, where she works to this day, going down in Google history as employee number 16. Under Susan's leadership, YouTube has by now developed an entire network of its own services, such as YouTube Premium, YouTube TV, YouTube Go, YouTube Music, YouTube Kids, YouTube Studio, YouTube Gaming, YouTube VR, and YouTube Shorts. And some more interesting facts about YouTube. On December 21, 2012, the number of views per video clip exceeded 1 billion for the first time in YouTube and internet history. On May 31, 2014, the number of views exceeded 2 billion. That video was the music video of the South Korean singer PSY for the song Gangnam Style video. This video became the leader in the number of views on November 26, 2012. The song Gangnam Style surpassed the previous record holder, Justin Bieber, and his composition Baby. On January 13, 2022, the video called Baby Shark Dance, for the first time in the history of YouTube, crossed the mark of 10 billion viewings, thus setting an absolute record of viewings. And by the end of 2022, the video had over 11 billion views. Those are the numbers. And that's the story of YouTube. The service which changed our lives. The story that began with 3 friends wanting to share a video with others and now according to some data brings the owners about $25 billion of income in a year. And since Google's purchase, YouTube's value has increased about 100-fold and in 2018 was estimated by experts at $160 billion. How do you guys personally feel about Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, Karim, and Susan Wojcicki? How often do you use YouTube and how much time do you spend watching videos? Be sure to write about it in the comments. Also, write your wishes, which companies you would like to hear more about in our videos. If you liked the video, please like it as it motivates us to create new ones. And don't miss them, subscribe and click the bell. Fi free.